You and you.
Tabloid.
Hey. Hello.
Hey.
I need him handy because I'm a fat man. 10 abs. Alright guys, first of all, thank you for coming on the trip. Apparently we are, I don't know, the Lord of the Rings now, sitting as King Arthur's table. Sorry for the loop-de-loop around the building. Got a couple of guests here for you. Ask anything you want, as long as they're not going to end up in jail for it. Obviously meeting Matt. Matt Stryker. Yay, boo. That's what we did during. Victoria's 27 homicide. Any questions you got? Hit them.
Matt Stryker. What was it like to perform at Wrestlemania?
It's everything you could ever possibly imagine. Think of the one thing that you've always wanted to do and times it by 10. And the craziest thing is that while I was out there, I didn't even know what was going on. It wasn't until afterwards that I absorbed what was going on.
Anybody?
All right, I got a question for you guys. How was the bus drive?
It was good, relaxing.
Was there alcohol on the bus?
No, we don't.
There were only 3 girls on the bus. So, come on. Who was in the back of the bus?
That happened to me in the Bronx Zoo on a class trip. And I went back in the bus with a girl. I was like, "Phil, you want to go walk and see the monkeys or something?" And she said no. And I'm still not over it yet.
Homicide.
Now, you brought it up. You asked that question. It drags up all the old memories, you know, my old emotional scars, and I'm always still running deep. Thank you very much, man.
So I got a question for you guys. Obviously, this is the third House of Hardcore show. You both, all 3 of you have been involved in building a company, whether it's ECW or Ring of Honor, or for yourself, ICW in New York, helping to build a company from this, and you were in ICW as well. You know, what's it like working with Tommy, who everybody respects and loves, and helping him build a company now?
Man, I grew up watching ECW and matches, even though I started in '93, but watching these guys like Terry Funk, Tommy Dreamer, and being my bosses, I think it's kind of cool. You know, I grew up in this gutter, and just being here is a blessing in disguise. Like, I ain't trying to kiss these guys' ass, but they're doing matches right there, you know. We're going to have a great show tonight, but it's awesome to work with Tommy Dreamer behind the scenes, and we're going to see what happens afterwards. But I think it's really a cool environment for myself. I travel all over the world, but just being here, man, I'm very excited. Plus, I got Matt Hardy and Devon Dudley. Yeah. Come on, that's a great resume.
I think everybody will agree that, anybody here will agree that everybody knows Tommy knows that it's like Tommy, everybody loves and respects Tommy to no end. And I think all of us are somebody that, anybody's on the show is with somebody that Tommy respects and likes. And I think because of that, even if some of us don't know each other, it's almost like a big melting pot, so we can kind of come together and the best we can do is try to build something from the ground up as a family, you know, work together as a team rather than having egos and stuff and shit. So I think together, if we really put our minds to it, maybe we can all accomplish something special, hopefully.
I think the beauty of this whole thing is that House of Hardcore is a brand now, and the wrestling landscape needs that. Once ECW went away, there's a huge void, and a guy like Tommy can come in and fill that, because whether you like Tommy or you don't, you know his matches are going to have emotion. You're going to feel. And there's so much out there that we watch on TV where we go, oh, that's phony. Or I didn't buy that. You never say that in a Tommy Dreamer match because the emotion is there. I mean, Tom will die in that ring and people will applaud him. It's weird. But I think that's his commitment to you guys more than his commitment to us.
And I think if you guys could just ask all questions from now on to me and Homicide first, because after Matt answers, we look stupid.
I'll just take my...
Homicide. The 1/410 edition of Impact. Was it hard to climb that cage?
Fuck yeah, man. Like, seriously, it's not even part of wrestling. It's like Mad Max Terror Doom or something, you know? Like, I'm just getting up and saying, like, why the fuck I'm in? Man, excuse my language, first of all. But still, though, I just looking back, that was the most stupidest thing ever that bitch was ever creative.
Whoa.
And to this day, I'm still pissed off. That's like, what, 3 years? It could be 400 years, I'll be still pissed off. I feel like Taz, the most miserable man in the world, man.
Oh, shit.
It's just stupid, man.
I can see it.
Yo.
All right. Okay.
That was a great match, you and Tommy Dreamer on the ICW show. That was a fucking match, man. Like, I told last night, that's the greatest match you and Homicide ever had, man. Like, you bring the best out of you. he bring the best out of him. Like shit, that's what make them the wrestling more greater. And I stuck on to the match like shit. Like he put the fucking belt in the fucking balls like fuck.
I didn't know that was gonna happen. I thought that was amazing. Like wow,
damn
this
it,
is so cool right now.
Mike was striking. He was watching it too.
What's your thoughts on working with guys like CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, and seeing where they are now?
I'm happy for those guys, man, because I knew that those guys were gonna go somewhere. You know, with CM Punk, with straight edge, that's original. Like I'm a 420 guy, you know, and he always get mad at me every time, you know, I take his shirt, put it on, put it back on. The first thing is, goddamn homicide. I'm like, yeah, he's going somewhere, because I think he's real with the straight edge character. Yeah. And Brian, he's unbelievable. He's the best technician in the world. He reminds me like Bob Backlund back in the days in the 70s, you know, and now he got personality. He does the yes and no. Well, I did a show in Ring of Honor, everybody saying CCC, and I'm like, why the hell they saying it? Oh, duh, you know, now I know why. But it's amazing, man, working with those guys, and right now they're on top of their peers right now, man. I'm happy for those guys, especially Punk. Because me and Brian, it's like Frankenstein and the werewolf. We don't mix each other, you know, but CM Punk is a different story. He's like my babysitter at strip clubs, so I kind of connect with him, you know. But I'm so happy for those guys. They deserve what they get.
I went to a strip club with you once. How come I wasn't able to be a babysitter?
Dude, this is me talking about cranberry and, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I've never been to a strip club in my life.
That's true. Yeah.
Really?
Next question, Adam.
I got a question for you guys. You know, most of us, I think most of us here, we get a paycheck every week, every 2 weeks. You guys work show to show. How do you guys deal with the frustration? Like, I believe you and I believe Matt was booked last night for ICW. So how do you deal with that?
What?
No, but seriously, how do you deal with that frustration? You know you're booked, you know you're supposed to get something, then all of a sudden the show gets canceled. And it's not, it happens. I mean, how do you deal with that frustration?
Well, I was confused about it. I don't know who's the boss, Jack Sabbath, or the guys for ATW. To me, pro wrestling is a business. I'm not no Deion Sanders. I want the money like Pat-Man Jones. But, you know, I got to feed my kids, my family, like all of us. Because this is a job what we're doing. And I think it just shows some respect for the bookers, you know. Like, okay, we're going out there, we're putting our bodies on the line. We got no insurance. I don't know about these guys, but I don't got no insurance. You know, I got to do it the other way around to get some insurance. So it's kind of frustrating me when a booker be like, oh, homicide, could I pay you 2 weeks? And, you know, something like PayPal or whatever, you know. And it gets very frustrating. I got to hold my temper sometimes because the first time I'm thinking is my family. And, you know, Saturdays or Sundays I want to put food and, you know, it's hard. This is a hard business. I love it, but it's hard.
And I'm not kidding when I tell you this. You really should look into Obamacare. Seriously.
Really? Everyone been telling me that.
I'm telling you, man. Get on the website.
We don't really want to have this
Obamacare.
No. No politics.
That's great.
No.
I'll go, buddy.
The funny thing about what you're saying is, especially a lot of us, we're like East Coast New York guys, and booking outside, you might not see it coming, but around here, it's almost like the usual suspects. So when you see a cancellation, we were just talking just now, we're like, so somebody canceled the show, we're not even in the least bit shocking. So I mean, sometimes some guys have it rougher because they're in a spot where they're either friendly with the guy and they'll take him at his word or whatever. But it's a tough business, like you said. But like I said, around here, the usual suspects are usually the same ones that do that to the guy.
And I think most people don't realize the impact on you guys.
Well, they do, because you know, a guy like Homicide, like if you book him to do a show last night and you decide you're not going to have a show, this is a guy who could have got 10 bookings to fill that date if he had the chance.
And he'll stab you.
Literally?
I'm trying to not go there.
Dude, I pay taxes. Those are long days, man. I'm tired.
I supplement my income by being a male escort, and that definitely
Reasonable on your shit? No.
Joe, sorry.
Sorry.
You were talking about a year ago or so about retiring.
Yes.
I'm hoping you're not.
Well, everybody said, man, you sound like Terry Funk right now. You know how he is, but I've been doing this for close to 20 years, March 5th, 20 years, and I never got the chance to wrestle Massacre God. That's my goal. but I did went to Tokyo. I went to Australia. I could tell my friends, what the hell you been there? I went to Australia. They get mad at me. But I'm very happy with my resume. I'm very blessed right now. And hopefully I'll talk a lot of Gaga next year. And I'll be like, but right now, yeah, next year's my last year. I might go out like Miranda Rivera, but that's the Christian way, you know, but the other way around. But hopefully I'll talk that smack and I'll keep going. But I still got gas in my tank.
I think you'll keep going because I think wrestling retirements are like we're like pretzel bread and sea salt before pretzel bread and sea salt. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty, I think once you get that feeling, you get that itch, man. I think homicide's gonna be around a long time.
Homicide,
That's right, man. Yeah.
That's right.
Homicide, I saw you wrestle New Jack. In
Now if you do that, you'll be around a long time.
No, in Conquest, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I saw you wrestle New Jack. I was
Yes.
like, holy shit, I can't believe they put that.
Yeah, I can't believe you remember that.
In the back. All right. How are you planning on retiring when you are going to win the Ring of Honor tag team titles in final battle?
How do you know that?
Well, yeah.
Kingston.
Just because you read something on the internet doesn't mean.
Oh no, I'm not saying. I'm saying this is what I think is going to happen.
Inquire.
Well, right now, I didn't even know if I'm going to win the belt from here in Kingston.
National
Until what happens in Final Battle. After Final Battle, you know, I make my decision. But next year, that's when I'm going to retire.
You ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
In fairness, there was a picture leaked on the internet of you with Eddie's name underlined. So.
Danny Doring.
Yes, sir.
Anybody now that you have not worked with that you would want to work with?
Matt Striker.
Whoa.
Not really, not together. As a team and a unit, yeah, we actually wrestled each other. No, we did wrestle each other once.
Yep.
I did, you know what? I take that back. I already got it. Scratch it off the bucket list. You know, the one match I would actually like to have that I'll never have, that I had when I was a rookie a million times would be Taz. Because I did it when I was green and I was unseasoned and had no confidence and scared. Now, if I could do it today, that would be the one match I'd like to have, and I would like to wrestle Tommy and Dreamer as much as possible because, but there's nothing I'm happy with everything I've done and accomplished. But if there's one thing I could do, if I had a DeLorean, so to speak, I would like to do that. But I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. So I'll take Matt Striker.
December 6th and 7th.
Well, anything to get Taz off the commentator booth.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
Boy.
Whoa.
I heard what you're saying. I'm not going to comment on that because I'll get the phone call and it'd be
Thank you.
You heard it. You were heard your next name Inquire.
Any other questions? All right. Well, I think we're done then. Thank you guys.
Thank you.